Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is why Dazai is not only a great detective, but he's also a beast, a savage, a man who is not to be reckoned with, a man who has a reputation that precedes him and shakes people in their boots and brings fear to their very heart. As this episode, he straight up faced down a sniper, a man with a gun at his head at point blank range, dared him to kill him, and knew in his heart that this man didn't have what it takes to kill the boss, the man, the great Dazai. As this guy was so shook, he wasn't even using his shooting hand, just straight up exposed him. Man, what's up everyone? It's your boy Infrar-Ed. Welcome to the Scott Reports. Today I'm bringing you an anime review of Bungou Stray Dogs, episode 13, aka Bungou Stray Dogs season 2. Even though technically this isn't a season 2, it's just a continuation because it just went on break. This is episode 13. They never said it was season 2, so it's just going to be episode 13 to I believe 25 that we're going to get from this series. And oh man, I am so glad that this series is back, because when I first started this series in the spring when it came on, I was kind of on the fence about it because I didn't know what direction it was coming for me. But once it put its roots in the ground a few episodes in and started getting going, it ended up being one of the most pleasant surprises of 2016 for me, and I'm absolutely glad that it's back and we have got a monster of an episode. So I'm so excited, I'm just ready to get right into it. This episode gives us the very first flashback episode for Dazai back in his Port Mafia days, looking beastly with the bandages all over his body, even more so than he has now. He even has one over his eye. And we spend some time in this episode with Dazai and two other people from his past, a man by the name of Oda, whose full name is Odasaku, and another man by the name of Anzo. As these guys were in Port Mafia, they were three friends, and I am most interested in Oda because he is the very lowest rank in Port Mafia, and they call him the handyman because he does all the dirty work. And we have a monster of a character with this man and his ability called Flawless. Because pretty much what his ability is that he can see 6 seconds into the future, and he uses that in this episode to stop himself from getting sniped by someone, as he was able to move from the bullet just in time as he saw himself dying right before. And oh man, he looks a beast. His ability is a beast. I cannot wait to dive into this character. And the other character that we meet, Anzo, he is Port Mafia's intel man, a very important figure as he knows all, he knows everything. But again, the spotlight goes to Dazai, the man, as he's coming from the bar fresh off of a firefight. I mean, straight up firing squad Tommy gun style. And he doesn't have a scratch on him. He got his bruises because he actually fucking fell in the ditch while he was pissing, and not because of the people himself. He was like, oh, those guys, I just took them out like trash. They couldn't feel my desire to die, so they are worthless. And Odazaki hits us with the quote of the episode by saying, the misfortune of being Dazai's enemy is that you are Dazai's enemy. And that's what they say about this man in Port Mafia. Oh my God, I need to see this guy go in. I absolutely need to see it. We got little glimpses of what he can do in the fight with Chuya last season. I can tell you from reading the manga, I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but it's going to be so hype. And even though he is in Port Mafia, he's still that same Dazai that we know and love. I mean, he's still happy-go-lucky, he's still fun-loving, he's still trying to find interesting ways to die. As he's talking to the bartender, and he was like, hey, can you give me a glass of detergent? And the bartender's like, what? No. He was like, okay, well, give me a detergent-based cocktail. Oh my God, I just had me cracking up as this guy really wants to die, always trying to find a way to die, but it makes the character tragic as well as a little bit in this episode too, because with these three members of the Port Mafia, they are good friends. They take a picture together and everything, and they also take a toast to the Stray Dogs. Props to the title drop there. And this is where the episode opens up and the fun really begins. So the one character that we were talking about, Anzo, he's actually come up missing, and the head of the Port Mafia, the doctor that we saw at the end of last season, personally calls in Oda, again the very lowest on the Port Mafia scale, to actually find Anzo, because Anzo is very important. Again, he is Port Mafia's intel, so if somebody gets him and makes him squeal, they are pretty much exposed, as he is tasked with trying to find this man. He also gives him a pamphlet or like a document called the Silver Oracle, and with this document, anybody in Port Mafia that you show this to is obligated to help, even if they're a higher executive. So moving on forward, we also see Dazai again, just being Dazai, and forgive me, I forgot the guy's name, but he was the leader of the Black Lizard. They're investigating what happened at that shootout that Dazai was in, because it looks like one of Port Mafia's weapons caches or weapons buildings actually got raided while they were actually shooting Dazai, or at least trying to shoot Dazai, because it was so beast. I mean, these guys were literally shooting machine gun fire at Dazai, and he's just sitting there like, oh, nothing's hitting him at all. It's like, oh my God, this guy is like the ultimate luck. But anyway, that was a ruse, because while they were distracted fighting Dazai and they failed, they happened to break into this weapons place of the Port Mafia. They killed a couple of people and they left a gun behind, or at least they found a gun behind on one of the victims. That's kind of a memento, or like a signature to another rival group called Mimic. Something else that we also learn about Oda is that he refuses to kill people. He doesn't use a gun and he refuses to kill people, which again intrigues me so much about this character. I want to know about him. I want to know why he has the methods that he has. And with the gun being gone, that's, you know what, I'm kind of thinking that maybe he was involved with it, but then again, this group of people are also called Mimic. So just like Dazai, I feel that it was a setup to try to make it seem like it was an inside job for Port Mafia. While Oda is on this investigation to find out what happened to Anzo, he goes to the hotel room and he finds a case up in like the roof somewhere. And this is where we see his ability flawless. He's able to evade the sniper fire. So he's tracking down the sniper and he actually calls Dazai for help. And Dazai's like, I'll do you a solid. You don't need to use that oracle for me. I'll come and help you. Oda gets attacked and Dazai just comes in, he saves the day with the straight up Tommy gun boys, just straight up firing on these guys in the wave of fire that Port Mafia is known for, taking these guys out. As Dazai says, you know what, your refusal to kill is why you are the errand boy of this company. With that ability, you could have took these people out with no problem. But with that being said, let's go ahead and find out what they were after as we open up the briefcase, or at least Dazai did by picking a lock. We find that same gun that this Mimic people carry, and that was in Anzo's hotel room. So we have a traitor in the midst of Port Mafia. Again, Dazai feels that this is a setup though. He doesn't feel that Anzo would do this. And what's more interesting, that at the top of the episode, we find out that either Oda or Anzo is gonna die. And manga readers, do not spoil this. I'm not gonna spoil it for the people, so don't spoil it as well. If you figure it out, then fine. But which one of them is gonna die, we don't know. That's gonna be the fun thing to find out. Is again, Bungou Stray Dogs is about to go in once more. And again, I can tell you that this season is about to go in for reading the manga. I'm telling you, and it was really surprising to get this episode, or the backstory that we got in this episode, so soon, because this part of it was adapted from a light novel. So they did like what they did with Kunakina last episode, where we got the backstory with him. This isn't even where we're supposed to start, but I can promise you that it will make sense once this is all over. So Dazai bids Oda farewell by telling him to find our friend, and this was a very clean episode and a very strong return for Bungou Stray Dogs. I absolutely love this episode. It definitely got me hyped. We get, I'm pretty sure that was the opening that they played at the end, if I remember it from the previews. It was a nice song. Of course, I'm going to miss Trash Candy, and it's definitely one of the strongest openings, if that is the opening and not the ending that we heard at the end. But I can tell you right now, something unexpected, that series Yuri on Ice is going to have the opening of the season. I already feel it. It was a really nice opening, but that's getting off topic. Back to that Bungou Stray Dogs greatness. Excellent episode. I would give it like a 10 out of 10, honestly. This was just a nice way to get started and on the craziness that we're about to see now. So I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here, guys. Let me know what you thought of this episode in the comments. What are your predictions? What do you think is going on? Are you excited to have Bungou Stray Dogs back, first and foremost, because I know I am. If you like this video, again, go ahead and drop it a like, and if you want to hear more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, as there's not a shortage of content for you guys to indulge on this channel, especially in this hype fall sequel season. And as I always say, you guys can be anywhere on YouTube right now, but you chose to listen to me. And I really appreciate that, so thanks for stopping by. On that note, it's your boy Infrar-Ed signing out. See you soon.